Hello and welcome everyone to another segment of Poetic Pleasures where poetry is everything. I hope you all had a wonderful vacation and are ready for the upcoming semester. Today I have a very special guest with me. She's a local poet, recipient of Baltimore's Best Female Poet People's Poetry Award and 2005 Miss Poetry People's Poetry Award, Miss Michelle Nelson.
Hey.
Glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here. Actually, I go by Love the Poet.
Okay.
Yeah. And I also won the People's Poetry Award Best Poet in 2007 as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I have an updated bio. I hope y'all, can get a hold of that too. I have to.
That's the one I saw on the website, so I was like, wow.
Oh yeah. I don't know. That's just I go by Love the Poet.
Where did that name come from?
It came from when I was in college. I got this name about 10 years ago, Love. When I was in college, I used to do shows on campus. I used to throw poetry events on campus because I was RA. So I had to do programming. And the program that I chose, to do was poetry because I was a poet.
Yeah.
And so I just, when I would do them, I would do the, kind of make it kind of cliche, and I would make everybody snap, and I'd be like, say love when you snap, because we're just giving everybody love, 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 love. So, like when people started seeing me on campus, they would like snap and say love. Yeah. And then I was asked to be a part of the Battle of the Schools, which is a poetry slam that Poetry for the People of Baltimore put on every year to this day. We were a part of the first one that went on in the city, and we represented, it was me and two other girls, we represented Coppin. And I needed like a poet name, I needed a name to do my spoken word. And my friend of mine was like, well, why don't you just go by Love? It fits, and everybody calls you that anyway. Yeah. So I was like, okay. And then, years later, as I've been out on the scene and everything, I added the poet just because it's kind of interesting. Love the poet or love the poet. Like, you can say it any kind of way.
Yeah.
So it's just fun.
Yeah. So I was really interested about that because Stephanie, she said that you go by Love the Poet, and I thought that was... I was like, oh, she has kind of like a pen name, like how authors have pen names. I like that idea.
A lot of spoken word artists on the scene have a pseudonym, of sorts. I don't know why. It's kind of like a alter ego, or just another way of. It helps. It's interesting how your name helps people to perceive you. You know what I mean? I've often toyed with the idea of just using my first and my middle name, Michelle Antoinette. And I use it every now and then. Like my latest album is called The Chrysalis, The Rebirth of Michelle Antoinette.
I listened to that.
Yeah. So, I'm just kind of putting that out there because I do love my name that my mom and my dad gave me. So, but yeah, a lot of spoken word artists have those.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, though.
You didn't?
No. I didn't even realize. But it makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Because it's more simple, like love. Instead of just like, okay, my name is this. It's more interesting because there's a story behind it, too.
Yeah, yeah. And it's also interesting because, like, some people, when they do use their name, they'll use their full name. Yeah. Like a sister friend of mine, Rebecca DuPas, she uses her whole name. Sabrina Gilbert, they use their whole names, Talam AC. It's like a statement, like, this is who I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like one or the other, It's kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually wanted to know a little about yourself, just where you get most of your inspiration for your poetry, where you started, like with your childhood and everything.
Cool, absolutely. I get most of my inspiration from just life. I feel like poetry, initially, I started writing when I was 11, and it's therapy for me. It has always been therapy for me. I do a lot of confessional poetry, where I kind of just like, I get naked on stage, basically. Not literally, but, figuratively. I put a lot of my own stuff out there to help me deal with it, to kind of get it off my chest, but also because my definition of success is if one person leaves the venue understanding or feeling better or feeling me or, you know, understanding something that I said, then I'm successful. And if a whole room feels it, then that's even better. But you know what I mean? It's a definite tool for me to be able to just cope. It's a coping mechanism. And my inspiration, family, as far as outside artists, like I love music. I've actually been playing the guitar for a little under a year now.
Wow.
You know, trying to get better. It's all about growth. It's all about growth. You know, I'm excited about it because I feel like I brought the guitar to when I was here at Notre. How do you say it? Notre Dame.
It's Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. I always mess it up.
The other one's Notre Dame.
Right, Notre Dame.
And they really get defensive about that.
Really?
Too. Some of the higher ups, like teachers and stuff, they're like, "It's Notre Dame, not Notre Dame."
Wow. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Same thing.
Notre Dame. I was with my sister friend Queen Earth, and we brought our guitars, and you know she beatboxed and everything. So I love music, hip hop, soul. Erykah Badu is my favorite.
Love her.
I mean, you know, she does no faking.
Yeah.
You know, she just does what she does, and her label lets her do that. She actually thanked them. You know, thank you for just letting me be. You know, let me be. As far as like lyricists, I really like Lupe Fiasco. I think he's a phenomenal lyricist. I like the chances that Mos Def takes. I feel like him. He just doesn't. You know, he just does what he wants. Like I really feel artists who just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Who just kind of like, you know what? So what? Like,
Exactly.
you know, this is who I am, and I know you're used to me like this, but I'm about to do it like this. You know, and that's where I'm at as an artist, because I like to infuse song, and I write like hooks within my poems, and you know, music and things like that. So heavily influenced by music. My family. Actually, my dad is a guitarist. He's been one since he was like 12. My grandmother used to sing in trios and things like that, be on the radio when she was younger. She's actually, both of them are on my album. So very musical family. My dad and his brothers all sang.
So that was probably some of your inspiration. Well, not inspiration, but some of it probably came from your family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, out the womb, I'm like, you know, dancing and, listening to people sing. And, you know, it was an interesting little story. I was at family reunion in Ohio, and my cousin had this big screened-in porch, and all the adults were in there singing and, you know, playing their instruments and stuff on the keys and guitar, whatever they had, they were playing it. And I'm like 8 years old. Me and my little cousins are running around in the yard, and we look up, and there's this big white fence. And we look up, and there's all these people lined up down the block on the fence. And I was like, we're all looking around like, what is going on? So one of them called me over there, and I was like, yeah, what's going on? They were like, what's going on here? Is it like choir rehearsal or something? We were like, no, it's family reunion. And they were like, oh. And we just kind of shrugged and went about our business. And I ran in there and told them what was happening. They were like, what?
To them, that's probably like...
Right, they were like, what is going on?
Why is everyone singing and dancing?
It was amazing. It was amazing. That was a defining moment in my life.